Ciao Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel. All right, I'm ALberto. It's October 28th. I've got all the latest news surrounding La Vecchia. We have some reports that clarify some of the news that broke out yesterday, so we're going to get into a follow-up on that. Then we have more in the rumor mill in terms of how Juventus could potentially act in the rebuild, so more names coming up as potential targets in positions. We're going to get to that. Then we're going to talk about the manager carousel of names that are being reported, and we have more names to add and more to the story of Antonio Conte and a possible return. And then of course we're going to look ahead to tomorrow's match against Lecce and all the latest from Max's presser and what the team list looks like. All right, because we're going to be missing a lot of players, so let's get into it. All right, Juventini, friendly reminder, like the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. All right, now, first up, before we get to the news, I got to say a massive shout out and thank you to Juventus DOC Melbourne Gigi Buffon official fan club. Okay, send me a care package. I've got the shirt on, but the back of the shirt is unbelievable. Same logo and crest as you see on the cap here. It's phenomenal. I got the scarf over to the side over here. Okay, so I can't stress enough, fan clubs, how amazing they are. This one in particular is amazing. So if you're in their neck of the woods, make sure you reach out to Ricardo and the gang. Okay, and Ricardo, there's a spot waiting for you as a guest spot on one of our shows. Okay, I can't wait to actually have you on and host you. All right, thank you again for the care package. Amazing stuff. Now let's get to the news. All right, so yesterday it was reported that Di Maria is his dream is to return to Rosario Central and whatnot, where it all began in Argentina and whatnot. Mirko Di Natale, friend of the channels, of course, great journalist, stands firm on the fact that Di Maria will stay until season's end. Not only that, Di Maria reiterating everything on Instagram that it is just fake news, and he has spoken that way even back in 2007 when he first entered European football. So nothing there. Okay, so Di Maria stays until season's end. His counterpart, however, his Argentinian counterpart, however, Paredes, different story. We'll get to that in a bit. Chiesa, the follow-up on Chiesa from yesterday, which was reports we should see him at some point in the Lecce match. No, later on in the day, and I updated on a post in YouTube and whatnot, Chiesa will not be in the team list for Lecce. We continue to wait for Chiesa's return. All right, now let's get to some of these rumors and whatnot happening for Juventus as far as players go. Okay, there's another name popping up for left back potentially, and that's Odriozola from Real Madrid, the 27-year left back. Okay, could be an option for Juventus, and his name is now being thrown out there. You also have, as we continue to talk about midfielders, Aouar, who we talked about yesterday. Juve is going to have some competition within Serie A, and Roma is one of those clubs going after Aouar as well as Juventus. His contract ends in June of 2023, so we wait to see. Conte, the manager list. This is where the story's getting interesting about what could potentially happen. And apparently the story is that, back in 2019 when Allegri left us the first time, it was said that Nedved and Paratici were trying to get the return of Conte. And Agnelli said no. Agnelli and Conte had differences, and Agnelli chose to go the Sarri route. Look, now apparently it's been reported as of a couple months ago. If you remember in the summer mercado that Romeo Gresti started reporting that the relationship between Conte and Juventus is actually much better than anybody thinks and what it's perceived to be outside. Well, it's being reported that the conflict that was there between Agnelli and Conte is gone, and they have essentially squashed their conflict and squashed their beef. A return is possible and could be what we're going to see in the summer. It's apparently being reported that that's the only reason Antonio Conte has not renewed his contract at Tottenham. So we have to wait and see. With Conte, should be most likely Gentoli as sporting director, and we can't rule out Carnevali as well. So interesting shift that could happen in the summer or whatnot, but we have to wait. Besides Conte, there are other names that are still being thrown out there and added to this list of coaches that could potentially join Juventus. Once they do, if they do, should they remove ties with Allegri. But Didier Deschamps, Luis Enrique, Roberto Martinez, those are 3 more names to add to potential coaches. Okay, so there you have it. A lot going on in the background and news around Juventus. Okay, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to follow. Iling Jr. Now we get to our current roster and whatnot. Iling Jr. said to potentially be starting in place of Cuadrado, and that Max Allegri might choose to go Iling Jr. because of the rut Cuadrado is in the run of poor form from the player. Paredes rumors. I was talking about Paredes earlier when I was mentioning Di Maria, and Paredes rumors are the opposite of Di Maria's. The club may want to move him away sooner than later. Apparently, the club is not happy with Paredes. This might be attitude issues or whatnot, but Paredes, yeah, it's not looking good, and he has not made an impact or left his mark on this team whatsoever. So there you have it on Paredes. Talked about Iling Jr. Potentially getting the start ahead of Cuadrado and whatnot. Iling Jr. is one that they're looking at as a potential left-back solution. Apparently, it's being reported that they might take the Alphonso Davies route with Iling Jr. because they see him being physically capable of playing in that manner. So something just to throw into the mixer is Iling Jr. If there's people out there that have watched a lot of Iling Jr., maybe you could speak to it more. But so far, kind of tough to gauge. He just played in an offensive manner in that last match against Benfica when we saw him, and it was a brief cameo. But there you have it. There are some future plans potentially for Iling Jr. Now, we get to the forefront, which is Lecce, our match coming up tomorrow. Milik and Keane should be starting up front, and there's a big reason for that, and that's our players that are not going to be on the team list. This is a big group of players. Pogba still out. Chiesa still out. Ake and Kyle George still out. Locatelli out for personal reasons, okay? Paredes, we know, I think, has a knock as well, and maybe being kept out by Juventus, but Locatelli and Paredes are both out. It's going to be interesting to see how Max finds a solution in the middle of the pitch. Di Maria is out still. Vlahovic will be out as well. And then Deschilio and Bremer, of course. So you have a big list of players out. What does this mean for the starting lineup? So far, it's only being said that maybe Perin should be starting to give Szczesny some rest. At the back, you're probably going to see Danilo, Bonucci, and Rugani. In the middle, this is where the questions come up. Kostic probably as your left wing back. Cuadrado. Is Cuadrado going to play? Is Iling Jr. going to play? Probably expect Cuadrado. It's being listed as 3 midfielders. Miretti, Rabiot, McKennie. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually shift back to a 4-4-2 because Max doesn't have his regista in there, but I don't know, maybe 3-man midfield and just throw Miretti in there with McKennie and Rabiot will be interesting to see. Milik and Keane, of course, up top. So there you have it. Anybody's guess what's going to happen? We have to wait and see for this match tomorrow. Don't forget, we're live tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, okay? And we're going to get hyped up for this game against Lecce and hopefully get back on winning path for Juventus, all right? Make sure you're there for the live and join us. And don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to bring you a live watch along as well. So let me be your commentator for the Juve match, all right? Till then, again, like the video, drop your comments. Can't wait to hear from all of you. Had a great time mixing it up as there was a lot of comments yesterday. Let's keep it rolling today, everybody. Fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.